was a very successful sire. Colin, tell us how you got into greyhound racing and how you come to train Blackamoor Lad.
Well, my brother went and bought the dog as a pup, paid $150 for it, brought it home. He bought two of them. He brought a brindle and he bought a black. Brought them home, started looking after them. We both worked with them, and all of a sudden, after a while, I was left to look after them, feeding them, taking them to the vets, etc., etc. So from there on, I started to learn to train him, and I went down to Jock Everett's down at Keysborough, and he was very good at breaking in dogs. So from there we went on.
Now, Blackamoor Lad, did he always show plenty of ability right from the start?
As a young pup, it's very hard to say, but once we got him over to Jock Everett's, and he showed quite a bit there, and we took him to Olympic Park for his first trial, then we were very impressed.
Now, he had a love affair with Olympic Park. He really raced well there, didn't he, right throughout his career? I know he won a race at Sandown, but really it was an Olympic Park dog, wasn't he?
He was a specialist there because he liked to lead, he was fast early, and Olympic Park being a saucer of a track, if you hit the front there, you're very hard to catch.
Now, Olympic Park in those days, Cole, you remember it well, it was big crowds, 5,000-6,000 people every Monday night. Now, the Greek community used to frequent the track, and they sort of adopted Blackamoor Lad, didn't they?
Oh, they did, yeah. Yes, they did.
They used to like him, and they bet on the greyhound every time he raced, and you had quite a following, I'm sure.
Oh, there was a big one, especially in the Australia Cup. That was huge.
Now, leading up to the Australian Cup, in those days we had lots of betting pre-post, and Blackamoor Lad was 200 to 1. Now, you decided that was probably terrific odds. Did you take your last $40 out and have it on the dog?
I haven't told anyone that before, Neil. I did take my last $40 out of the bank. I went and took it down on the semi-final, prior to the semi-final that night. I went up to Chummy Parks and took 88,000 to 40. And it was just an omen, really. And we were very happy with the bet. In fact, after the semi-final, Chummy Parks wanted to buy the ticket back off me, but we weren't selling.
No, and of course Chummy was the Leviathan bookmaker in those days, and he stood to lose quite a sum of money. Now, the first prize for the Cup was $12,500, and of course $8,000, and a few relations had him going for a few bob too, did they, Cole?
That's correct, yes. Yeah, my brother had him going, I can't remember what it was on that particular night, but he had a game for 4,000 or 5,000, and my uncle had him going for round about 6. So it was, good fun.
Certainly was. Now, race night, here you are in the Australian Cup. You've never trained a greyhound before. You're in with the likes of Jim Coleman, had a greyhound in the race, Young Moss. How did you feel going into the race?
I felt a little bit confident, only because he drew the one and he loves the track. That's what made me feel a little bit confident, not overconfident, right? And they were all good trainers. They were top trainers. This is the first dog I trained, so that made me not so confident.
Colin, in those days, of course, no videotape of the race, but I believe you got a recording.
Yes, I've got an old 45 record with Bill Collins on it, and I cherish that. I keep it there. Now and then I listen to it, and it sends tingles up my spine when you hear the dog win the race. It's very, very exciting. It's something I'll always cherish and keep for the rest of my life.
The final of the Australian Cup. In one, Blackamoor Lad from Null's Call, followed then by Benker. To Yulee in 4, Young Moss, Bristol Miss, Milo's Charm and the Cadillac. All in, steward checking the boxes. Just waiting for the check. Null's Call is set. Steward checks again, gives the all clear. Here's the law for the Australian Cup final. Moving, ready to go. The all-important start coming up. They're racing, missing the start badly. The Cadillac on the inside, Blackamoor Lad from Null's Call, and then Bristol Miss followed by Milo's Charm looking for a run. Banker dropped out last. Young Moss, the Cadillac. Blackamoor Lad down the back from Bristol Miss. Here comes the Cadillac with a big run, followed further back in the field then by Milo's Charm. Blackamoor Lad 3 lengths in front. The Cadillac can't got in the run home, and Blackamoor Lad turned it up to win a length. From Milo's Charm, 3 lengths to Cadillac, followed then by Banker. Next Bristol Miss, followed further back by Null's Call, and the last two were to Yulee and Young Moss. Number 1 is the winner of the Cup. Number 7 is second, Milo's Charm. And number 8 is third, the Cadillac. 1, 7 and 8 and the time was 30 and 10/16. Number 1, Blackamoor Lad, raced and trained by C. Pavley by Blacktop from La Bridget, is first. Number 7, Milo's Charm from New South Wales, raced and trained by R.J. Masterton, was second. And number 8, the Cadillac from New South Wales, raced by S.R. Lolback by Blacktop from Dainty Opal, trained by H.R. Small, was third. Real boil over. Great win, but a surprise.
Something I'll always remember. It's probably the greatest night of my life.
He's by Blacktop, and of course at the time he retired, he was the highest stake earning greyhound that Blacktop had sired.
That's correct, yes.
That's an amazing record, and you did stand him at stud for a little while. It had a bit to learn about that caper.
That's right.
Now the Greek community really like to celebrate, and what was the celebration like? I mean, we had an article headline, "Greeks Kiss Greeks."
Oh, it was crazy. They, Mickey Theodorakis, the man that wrote Zorba the Greek and all those songs, was here the week before, and one article in the paper said, what a shame he wasn't here to celebrate with all the Greeks here in Melbourne with the winning of the Australia Cup.
And they even tried to get onto the track and surround you that night.
They were trying to get over the fence and everything. It was just unbelievable, Neil. Unbelievable.